Guys, it's Carys here, and I just wanted to make a little introductory video. So I've already put up the Ask Me Anything box, so you can ask me anything. Today I'm just going to be relaxing, but I have to get ready for my friends to come around tomorrow because we're doing a little Valentine's get together. And I guess you can just enjoy me asking a bunch of questions. So I hope you enjoy and ask me anything. This is my first question. What was your favourite part about filming Malory Towers? Definitely the cast, obviously, for obvious reasons, but also getting to just have new experiences. I've never gone to a different country to film before, and it was just amazing. I loved it. Not much sport as I would like to, especially because I'm filming a lot. I'm moving around a lot, so I can't exactly stay in the same club or the same space at all times. But at the moment, I'm doing some jiu-jitsu training, and in school, we're doing football and badminton. Speaking for GCSEs, believe it or not, I haven't even chosen them yet, but I think I have 4 free options, and I think I'm taking computer science, music, business studies, and Spanish. I don't know why, but I am. All the questions already. This one's a really interesting one. Yes, so I had to do all of mine via Zoom and videos, and there was a massive break in between because of COVID. I'll explain more in more detail in a second. Different because I never actually got to meet any of them in person first. I had a Zoom audition with some of the girls right at the end, and there was a massive break in the middle because of COVID, and I just assumed I hadn't got the role. So it was quite a shock to me when they asked me for another audition. Fortunately, at the moment, I only speak one language, but I would love to speak more. I've been learning a bit of Japanese, and I'm taking Spanish for GCSEs, as I just said. So hopefully I'll be fluent in another language when I'm older. That's the dream. Bad at remembering different episode numbers, especially because we film them out of sequence. But I must admit, episode 10, the quiz, is probably one of my favourites because it's just so funny to see the girls having to remember different trivial answers. I did a question twice, so I'm off to a great start. But I have done other shows, so I started with 4 O'Clock Club. I also did a West End before that. Then I've done a show that I can't talk about yet, but I'm very excited. And then I did Malory Towers. Question. Right now I'm listening to a lot of different songs from different musicals, so I couldn't choose. But When He Sees Me from Waitress, of course, a classic. And I've also memorised all the words to Hamilton, like every single song. So maybe Hamilton. 23rd of January, and everyone's like, oh. And I'm 14 years old at the moment, but I'm just close enough to Christmas to get all the Christmas discounts, but far enough away from Christmas to have to get separate presents, so I love my birthday. I mean, I've already done the GCSE question, so you can see, but also I don't know why really I'm not taking it, but I just wanted to try so many new subjects that I haven't done before, and I just didn't have space for drama, I guess. Watch all of Malory Towers season 1, and I was just so in awe of all of the people on it and the actors and the talent that they had, and so I'm so honoured to be on the show. I really can't say any more. Part 2 on this question, but it was crazy being the new girl in the group because it was terrifying, to be honest, because you had this such close-knit group of people and I just come in and be like, hi, like it was terrifying, but they were all so welcoming and I was just almost in awe of all of them anyway, so I was just happy to be there. But they are all the most welcoming people and I'm so honored. So I can give you some music I listen to, like Looking Out For You, Notion, Thea, Dream Boy, a lot of different things, but I also listen to classical music like Gymnopédie No. 1 and Agape. These were definitely my favourite because I love swimming, first of all, and it was fun to do a kind of different scene which is completely out there. And I thought that I would feel the cold and it'd be like so cold I couldn't act, but actually you didn't really feel it. You were so focused on the scene, so I loved it. My favourite line from Malory Towers is probably, being here means something to me, even if it's a jolly lark to you. I don't know why, but I absolutely love that episode, that scene. Me and Danya, who plays Gwen, we had so much fun filming that scene. Part 2, but I know everyone says to get an agency, and I think that is true. You should get an agency, but also, you know, honing your acting skills and going to as many workshops as possible. I will explain. First experiences of acting was going to one workshop because I'd never done anything before, but just truly having a love for acting as well really helps. And she was like recommended I get an agent, and so we went, and that's how it all started. Start getting ready after this because clearly I just woke up, but I was so scared. But I remember wheeling my suitcases in and them all just being like, "Oh my days, hello," with like the most confidence, and they came up and they were like, "Hi," and I just knew that I would love it here. Most of Malory Towers was filmed in Canada, but we also spent 2 months in Devon and about 2 weeks in Cornwall, which is funny because it's actually meant to be in Cornwall, but we definitely spent more time in Devon than Canada. I don't really have a great daily routine, especially because I don't know when I'm going to be plucked in and out of different places. So I usually, once I settle back in, I'm usually leaving again. So I don't really have one. Different because I have to get ready for my friends, obviously, to come around tomorrow, as I have to set up and make the room all nice. Also, I have to wash my hair because Afro hair is crazy. And then I'm going to get some breakfast. Making me hungry, so I'm probably going to get some breakfast in a second. My favourite dessert? I don't know about that one. I don't really eat a lot of dessert, which is probably bad, but if I was going to say a classic treat I like, I'd say ice cream. Who came to mind were Sienna and Imi, but then I thought about it, and Sienna's actually quite responsible, like Sally. Imi is very different because she's way more confident and way more outgoing and bubbly and fun. Scenes, which weren't the worst scenes, there were no bad scenes, but having to like block out Zoe, who plays Alicia, because I felt really bad for her. But apart from that, there wasn't any bad scenes that I thought, oh, this is the worst. I'm able to answer all your questions, but I don't have a favourite person on set because I love them all so equally, and thinking about it, I'm just like, I don't, how do you choose out of hundreds of amazing people, including the cast and the crew? Height, I don't entirely know. I think I was 5'3" the last time I checked, and hopefully I want to get to 5'6", which sounds very unrealistic when I say it out loud, but I'm hoping, so I don't know, we'll have to see. Very simple this morning. I'm just having a bowl of Country Crisp because nothing can beat cereal. But I don't have any fancy fruits in my house at the moment, even though I would love some fruit salad, but c'est la vie, so some questions while I'm eating my breakfast because why not? I'm in year 9 at the moment, and I'm not very excited to go to year 10 because that means GCSE start, and I'm very scared, but I think it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. At the moment is reading because I was a massive bookworm and then I kind of stopped, but now I'm annotating a lot of books for my friends. So that's when we write in it and then like swap books with each other. So I'm doing it with one of my friends at the moment and I love it. Choose a film, but one of my favourite directors is Wes Anderson. So I will watch a lot of his stuff, especially Fantastic Mr. Fox. I watched that like all of my life. And his cinematography is just another level and I love all of his work. I'm very basic when it comes to ice cream flavours, but cookie dough is a good one. But I must admit, chocolate or bubblegum. Sorry. Subject is English, not drama. Sorry to disappoint anyone who thought that, but I love English probably because of all the books I read as a child. But I'm especially English language and I love making up stories and writing, yeah. If I wasn't an actress, I would be a business manager. And I know that's weird, but I will leave you with that. I have a lot of the ordinary stuff and I like putting on some serum and sun cream, especially in the morning because that's so important to put on. In the evening, I just like taking off my makeup and moisturising. Because we had a tutor, it was all like fine and we were able to do school anyway, but we did do a lot of Canada stuff in the summer holidays, which was really nice because we also got to enjoy the sun. I played Katie in School of Rock the musical, which was crazy because I had to learn bass. It was my first audition, my first try of ever getting any role, and I was so surprised when I got it. But I literally had to learn the bass for the role. But I ended up learning the bass for the role. I had to learn new choreography. I'd never done anything before, and so it was such a massive shock to go into this world. But I think the West End really prepared me for TV. Sitting on the sofa in my living room, and my mum just sat me down and was like, don't freak out. But but I think they've offered you the role. And I was just like, okay. And I didn't like jump up and down or scream, but I wanted to. After this, I'm going to wash my hair. But my favourite thing to do while not filming is nothing, because the film industry is so crazy that you just need time to relax and do nothing and detox. So resting, probably. Food is my grandma's macaroni and cheese and Trinidadian chicken, because that's where half of my family's from. And Trinidadian chicken is so good, especially with the macaroni and cheese. So every time my grandma comes around, we're always asking her to make it. One character that I would say I'm most like, but Jean is probably the closest. I'm not entirely sure. I think you guys would have to tell me on that one, because I'm not entirely sure. They actually gave us the books, which we have to write in, and I wrote a bunch of different stuff in there because of, while we were filming, we just had to write different things. But this is why I can't do a room tour, because I have so many different things from different sets. As you can probably tell from my British accent, I'm born and raised in Britain, but my dad is from Trinidad, which is in the Caribbean, so that's why I'm biracial. But apart from that, I'm a true Brit. Just got back from washing my hair, as you can see. My favourite season is probably autumn, and I know that everyone says that, but I generally love autumn and also winter. I find that it feels more cozy, and I prefer the cozy feel to the super hot sweating outside feel. I'm in a hair tutorial in the moment, but I have read the first 3 books. I love them, and they asked me to read them for the first auditions, and so I read the first 2 because Ellen's not in the first one. So I read the first 2, and I love some of my favourite books. I'm reading The Secret History at the moment, which is a very long book. It's about 600 pages, but I love it. And Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which my friend actually annotated for me, which I can show you. And yeah, so basically my friend annotated this book for me, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I absolutely love this book, and I can't believe she annotated it for me. I was so grateful. I got it for my 14th birthday, and I annotated A Secret History for her, and I absolutely love it and read it in. So I have a sister called Anna who's 15, and I also have a dog called Cherry who's I think she's around 6 years old, I'm not exactly sure, but she's a Cocker Spaniel, and we've had her for ages, and we absolutely love her, and we had her since she was a puppy. Thank you for asking me this question. This is so cute. I'm doing well at the moment, yeah. How are you? Life is going great, and it's nice to have some time off from filming, even though I miss it very much. But I'm glad to have some time to rest. The rest of the girls, apart from Zoe, I live in England, and I love living in England. It's literally one of my favourite places in the world. But I must admit, I probably would move to Canada if I could, because that place is amazing, and we never get that much snow, ever. Probably a bit weird, but I would actually love to be in Beetlejuice. I love that musical. And being able to sing all of those songs as well, which Sophie sings, I love Beetlejuice. It's so good, and I would love to be in it. Imi would probably be least like her character, because she's a lot more bubbly and energetic. But I would say the person who is most like their character, I would say Sienna, who plays Sally. I love Dear Evan Hansen. I love it. But because I don't live in London, I don't see a lot of West End shows. I've only seen Les Mis and a couple others, but I would absolutely love to see Dear Evan Hansen, and it's one of my dreams to see it. I'd be the chaos aesthetic. I'd be the chaos academia. I am a not very organised person, but I'd like to think of organised chaos as well. But the one aesthetic I would love to be is like the artsy boho vibes. I don't exactly know when I wanted to be an actor, but everyone tells me that I was a massive performer when I was a child, like a big performer, and that I was always showing them singing and dancing, and always just watching. When I watched my favourite shows, I would act it out. So too. I then went to a workshop which my mum found for me, and afterwards the lady was like, oh, get her into an agency, you can go into acting. And so I started with the agency, and I got a West End, and that's how it started. Filmed in England for a lot of it, but we did film in Canada for quite a while, and it was in the summer season, so it was so hot, and we were lucky enough to have a pool, so it was the greatest summer of my life, and I will never forget it, and I'm so grateful. The last time for the girls, it was around 3 months, maybe, I'm not entirely sure. But this time it was around 5 months. It was very, very long, but I loved every single second of it, and it was amazing. Agent actually emailed me and was like, oh, this new auditions that's coming up for this show, so you might want to try out for it. And so I did the auditions, and we didn't hear back for ages, and then they got back and was like, yeah, you got it. Just turned 14, so I was 13 while filming, and all the other girls were way older than me. Well, I say way older, but they were about 14 and 15, but they always called me the baby of the group and said that I was super young. I originally wanted to play Ellen. I didn't really get a choice otherwise, and because I was the only other person joining the cast at this time, so it was the only one going as well, and I really connected with the character, so I didn't want to play anyone else. So actually I can kind of play several instruments at the moment. I'm still going on with piano, but I can also play the bass, the guitar, I can sing, and I can also play one piece on the harp and one piece on the oboe. So sweet, thank you so much. Like I've said, macaroni and cheese, but I would say carbonara is so good. Book, Secret History, and movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I would have to say, I love you too, thank you. So, Tash, who plays Irene, was on the Olivier Awards performing for School of Rock because she was in it too. She was the person who inspired me to do the West End School of Rock. So, without her, I wouldn't have gotten into acting, and I ended up working with her. So I don't know how long this is, but at the moment I'm using this. I don't exactly know where, but it's so good, and it's like a 3-in-1, so it's got a hair mask too. I'm also using this to smooth down my tattoo. Also I'm using this to smooth down the top pieces on my head. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with my hair yet, but I might just put it in a protective style to help with tomorrow. So I will probably get to that. So I will stop answering questions now. My favourite actor or actress is probably Florence Pugh at the moment, and probably Timothée Chalamet for an actor, I know, but I love them both. It's under the name Kaz John Official, and you should be able to find it. So hopefully that's alright for you. Duo is definitely Irene and Mary Lou's, because their friendship is the same off screen, and so it was so cute to let them be able to play that on screen, and I just love watching them. They're so cute. To Ellen, of the feeling of letting people down or getting quite anxious at times, and so I was really able to understand where she was coming from, and I loved being able to play a character where I had familiar feelings with her. I like being the youngest, it's fun, and everyone kind of took me under their wing, I guess, in a sort of way, but there were a lot of jokes about me being so young, but I love them all to pieces, and it was still an amazing experience. They didn't treat me any different. Such a good movie. Obviously my favourite song is We Don't Talk About Bruno, and I've already memorised all of the words to it because it's such a good song, and I think Sherry agrees. I think she agrees with me. Yeah, I've said a bit before, but it was truly incredible, and they treated me exactly the same as everyone else, and I really felt like part of the group, and we had the most amazing experience together, and I love being part of the group. We usually just hang out together, and sometimes Zoe would bring in her guitar, and so we'd have little sing-alongs on set. But if it was during school time, then if we could get in half an hour, then we would do some tutoring. And if I didn't have any schoolwork, I would just focus on some Japanese. Probably Millie Bobby Brown, because she's such an inspirational young actor, and I think that would be really fun, and see what she brings to the table. Thank you for your question. School is going great, and we've just obviously started with GCSE options. We start at the end of year 9, and so we're getting a lot of presentations on different GCSEs at the moment, which is kind of scary but very fun. I got sprayed with fertilizer, and that was crazy, and they were basically like, you have about 2 takes of this, otherwise you know that's the shot done. So we were so scared, but in the end it ended up being really fun. Some of the last questions I'm going to do today. I wasn't in season 1 because I guess they didn't need the character yet, and Ellen only comes into the books in book 2 anyway, so it was kind of more along the line of the book. Question, it's really sweet. I feel like sometimes I can relate to Ellen, and especially when playing her, when you watch her confidence grow, I feel like that did help my confidence too, and especially having such a supportive network of girls even in and out of the show really helped too. My favourite type of dance, I did a lot of hip-hop when I was a kid and street dance, but then I moved to like ballet and different kinds of contemporary arts and stuff, but I don't dance as much now, but I love dancing, and I think whatever helps you express Favorite thing to eat for lunch is instant noodles, but today we had avocado and brie on toast, which was lovely and I definitely recommend. One of my favorite memories, we went to Canada's Wonderland and we were having so much fun, and then it started raining and everyone started leaving and we were like, should we stay, should we go? And so we decided that we were going to stay, but we needed someone to wait it out. We ran to this little cave where everyone else was hiding, and we all just sat there and we were laughing and having so much fun. And even before that, we were dancing around in the rain, which is definitely one of my favourite memories ever. So much over the weekends because we obviously got weekends off. And one of my favourite times is when we went thrift shopping in Canada, and we went to this place, I think it was called King Street, but we went around and bought a lot of overpriced thrift store stuff. I really enjoyed answering all of them, and I won't be able to do as many tomorrow because of Galentine's that I'm doing with my friends, but I hope you all have a very nice Valentine's Day on Monday, and thank you all so much. Love you guys. Back for another day. It won't be as long this time because I've still got my Galentine's thing with all my friends, but I just thought I'd start with this question. Probably the tallest girl was Sienna, but Tash was close on her heels. Probably the south of France because I love France, first of all. I've learnt French for 5 years and I love the sun, I love swimming, and so it was a great mixture of all the things I loved. Probably play the piano because that's the one I'm strongest at, and my piano teacher, we just learnt a piece which would be perfect for it, as you have to be grade 5 standard, and so yeah, I'll play the piano. Restrictions were pretty strict. We had to wear masks all the time, but because we were in a bubble with some of them, when we were at home with the girls, we didn't have to wear masks because we were all in a bubble and we got COVID checked twice a week and it was very safe. It was so good. In England, we had different foods every week, and then in Canada, we had a set menu every week, but with different changes, and we also had a craft truck, which was snack. Piece of advice that I can give is you don't already have to have experience. Acting agents are always looking for new, fresh faces and what you can bring to it, so just be yourself. Just getting to play that period character. I haven't played a period character before, and it was such a drastic change from the thing I did last, so I loved being able to switch and challenge myself in that way. Because it's just my nickname, it's always been my nickname. I think people automatically went to Kaz when they first heard Carys. I also have other nicknames, but they're not really related to my name, so... Canada's Wonderland. I am not joking. I'm terrified of roller coasters, but I'm the kind of person who I'm still going to do it. Like, no matter what, you're not going to get me off there, but I'm so scared. It's the most terrifying feeling. Like, I forgot how scary it was. What was scarier than the Leviathan, which is like such a massive roller coaster, it's renowned worldwide, was Drop Tower, because the feeling of falling is the worst feeling ever, and I will never forget it. I'd actually play Mary Lou because I think that would be a real challenge for me because I don't think I'm very good at playing shy characters. My characters are always quite either out there or kind of dramatic or something like that, so I'd love the challenge of playing Mary Lou. Singing, but they're very close together. Like, I like singing and dancing, but I must admit I sing way more than I dance, and all my friends are telling me to constantly be quiet because of it. My favourite place is shop, so it's quite funny, but I don't actually know the name of the store, but it's this beautiful store which is a cafe and a record shop, plus it has loads of plants you can buy, so it's basically the perfect shop. But I'm so bad at it. I literally, one time I couldn't find a weighing scale, and so I just improvised a recipe of a cake, and it was awful. But my sister is way better at baking than me. I'm so glad I did because I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And I think watching the first season was kind of a big factor. But I just loved being able to audition for this and I'm so grateful. Me, Imi, Beth and Zoe live far away from London, whereas the rest of the girls live really close. So they can meet up quite a lot and I unfortunately can't, and I miss them all the time. But we text every single day, so we never feel lonely. Ellen was the only part for my age going, so I was only allowed to audition for this part, and especially because it was on Zoom. but I don't think I would have wanted to audition for any other part, so good. My friends are just about to arrive for our Galentine's, and look at our little table. Look how cute. It's blue, but I like light blue and turquoise and not that dark blue. Boarding schools, they're so cool, but I've never been. I would love to go once at least, because I feel like they're lots of fun and you get to share that dorm experience, but I'm probably waiting till university for that. I was the youngest of the cast, being 13 while we filmed, and Beth, who plays Jean, was the oldest, who turned 17 while we were there, which was quite funny because we had like this whole friendship storyline, so it was the oldest and the youngest cast together. Crew was so amazing. We had to fill in a form every week on what we wanted, and there were so many different options. There was always a vegan and vegetarian option. You could always ask for it without certain things, and they would always make sure that your allergies were looked after and known. 9 when I started auditioning for School of Rock, and then I started the West End when I was around 10, so I've been acting for around 4 to 5 years now. It was filmed in Devon and Cornwall. We filmed in Devon for longer, and then we filmed in Canada for around 3 months. I don't really have one, but when we leave school, there's a McDonald's near us, so we're able to kind of get the McDonald's and eat it on our way home. One of my favourite singers is probably Frank Ocean. He's also more of a songwriter. And my favourite celebrity, I'd have to say at the moment, probably Florence Pugh. Everywhere. But for my gap year, I've already decided that I'm going to Japan for a year. Ultimately, I'd had a really good day, so I felt very good about it, and it was all fine in the end. Very close to the time we started filming, it was only about a month or 2 before, because they'd had to postpone because of COVID, and so it was very quick. And so the audition process went from a big gap in the middle to a week, and so it was crazy. In Devon and Cornwall I shared, but while I was in Canada the first 2 months I had my own room, and then the other 2 I shared. For Galentine's, we are watching a bunch of movies all day. We've all brought different snacks and we're all wearing big hoodies and joggers, and so I will leave you with that, and I will come back in a couple hours or so. Thank you so much for your questions. Sorry it's been so long. The Galentine's kind of ran over a bit, but I'm back now. I'm going to answer the last couple of your questions, and then that's my time up. It's probably reading, because I read a lot, but I also like learning new languages, learning new things, and sometimes I like to do some journaling. I don't think I have a one particular friend, but I definitely love all of them so equally and so much, because they are truly my best friends. Actually so lucky that none of us did. I think only while we were in Canada, one person in the crew got COVID and no one else in the entire time we were there. So we were super lucky with COVID, but we were also very careful. The difficult scene was probably the swimming scenes, just because it was very complex and you had to land in the right place and you had to block it out before without going in the swimming pool, so you never got to test it before you filmed, and we only had a couple takes, so that was very difficult but fun. I've had an amazing day and it's been super fun. I got to see all of my friends and it's just been amazing. So thank you for that. Thank you for all your questions as well. Probably just getting to act with more people all the time and having different scenes with different people is just amazing and so fun, and getting a new script every day. So the song, my favourite character is probably Camilo, I have to say, just because he's sassy and very funny, and I love those kind of characters, and I think he reminds me a bit of me. In Devon, we stayed in these cottages. In Cornwall, we had a house together, and in Canada, we also had a house together, which was amazing because we all got to be with each other all the time, and we loved it. All of the food is gone now, and I mean all of it. We've drunk all of the drinks, and it's an absolute mess down there, but I guess I'll have to do that tomorrow. Times was amazing. I absolutely loved it. We watched a bunch of movies and laughed and cried and ate a lot of food, so it was amazing, and I'm glad I could have to stay with them. No, I don't know why we weren't allowed them exactly, but it was probably because of ringers and like distractions and stuff, but we weren't allowed them. Thank you all so much for making this amazing. I'm so glad I could answer all of your questions. If you have any more, just follow me on my usual Instagram account at CasJohnOfficial. Thank you all. Love you guys. Bye.